Most people believe they're bad with money because they lack discipline. They assume they don't try hard enough, don't track closely enough, or don't have enough self-control. But what if that assumption is wrong? What if the real problem isn't you, but the budgeting systems you've been taught to use? In this video, we'll break down why most budgets quietly fail, why discipline isn't the solution, and what actually works instead. If you've ever made a budget with good intentions, followed it carefully for a short period, and then slowly stopped checking it, you're not alone. That experience is incredibly common, and it's not a personal failure. This is The Prudent Wallet, a channel focused on practical, no-hype approaches to money systems that work in real life, not just on spreadsheets. Traditional budgeting methods are built on a few assumptions that sound reasonable on paper, but rarely hold up in real life. The first assumption is that income is predictable. But many people deal with variable pay, overtime changes, commissions, freelance income, or unexpected delays. The second assumption is that expenses are stable. In reality, expenses shift constantly, repairs come up, prices change, social obligations appear, and emergencies happen without warning. The third assumption is that willpower is unlimited. That if you simply care enough, you'll always make the right decision. When these assumptions fail, and they almost always do, the budget collapses. And instead of questioning the system, people blame themselves. Many budgets require constant monitoring. Every purchase becomes a decision. Every expense becomes a calculation. Over time, this creates mental fatigue. Managing money starts to feel like a test you're constantly failing, especially when life doesn't cooperate. When a system requires daily attention, it competes with work, family, stress, and unexpected responsibilities. Eventually, people stop checking their budget, not because they don't care, but because the system demands more mental energy than they can sustainably give. Discipline is often treated as the missing ingredient in money management, but discipline is not infinite. It's affected by stress, fatigue, emotional pressure, and decision overload. If your financial system only works when you're highly motivated, calm, and focused, then it's fragile. A strong system doesn't rely on perfect behavior. It works even on bad days. That's the difference between motivation-based systems and structure-based systems. Instead of tracking every dollar, effective systems focus on reducing decisions. One simple principle is separating money by purpose rather than category. For example, one account for fixed expenses like rent, utilities, and insurance, one account for flexible spending, one account for saving or long-term goals. When money is separated upfront, many decisions disappear automatically. You don't need to constantly ask yourself whether you can afford something. The structure already answers that question. This reduces guilt, stress, and mental effort, which makes the system sustainable. Most people don't struggle with money because they're careless. They struggle because their systems combine temptation and responsibility in the same place. When spending and saving compete directly in a single account, every choice feels like a moral judgment. Over time, that emotional weight leads to avoidance. Simpler systems remove guilt from the process, and guilt is one of the main reasons people give up on managing money altogether. Budgeting doesn't fail because people are weak or irresponsible. It fails because many budgeting methods are built on unrealistic expectations. When your financial system reflects real behavior, not ideal behavior, money becomes easier to manage and clarity replaces pressure. That's the foundation behind my channel, The Prudent Wallet. If you're looking for calm, practical explanations about money without hype or shortcuts, you can subscribe here. In the next video, we'll cover the simplest way to control your money without tracking every expense.